who looked at people and made the seed of God's whom I love, brought sinners back to pure purity, and lifted you up to Jesus and God.
I confess the many things that stand in the way of true celebration of God's love.
I confess those things in my life that cause me to become separated from my God, my neighbors, and myself.
Let's pause in just a moment of silent prayer that you might in your mind, heart, and spirit bring before God this night. I confess my everlasting need of God.
The need of forgiveness for selfishness and greed, the need of new life for empty souls, and the need of love for hearts toward the world.
I believe in God who gives us the best of himself.
I believe in Jesus, the Son of the living God, born in Bethlehem this night, for me and for the world. I believe in him, through him, comes God's gift of forgiveness and new life, both here and in the world to come.
This Christmas prayer of confirmation is one that would draw us and perhaps even invigorate us as we hear a message tonight to go beyond just gathering, but being God's people. So let us hear these words and speak these words together. Let us affirm the love of God that God has for us, a love that was not and cannot be hindered.
We thank God for coming to us. We praise him for Christ's birth into our world.
It was cold, and Mary and Joseph were fearful.
But that did not stop the birth.
They were poor and had no place fitting for their child.
But that did not stop the birth.
They were uncertain about what God wanted from them.
But that did not stop the birth.
And today, we are still sometimes cold and fearful, certainly poor in many ways.
We often feel that we have no place and are unclear about what God wants of us.
But these things did not stop the birth of Jesus then, nor will they do it now. To all who are open to God's leading, he comes.
Lord Jesus, be born in us tonight.
Amen. And I would ask you to stand and turn and face somebody around you. Maybe you know them, maybe you don't. And just a greeting of God's love, a blessing of Christmas. Let's stand.
May I hug you? Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Christmas blessings to you.
We would invite you at the close of the service to say hello to a few more people. Enjoy the time that we have come to be together. And afterwards in the hall, in the narthex, we'll be able to say hello and hear more. We welcome Michelle to bring the gift of music to us. A hymn that you probably never get through Christmas without hearing it in one form or another. And so she brings it tonight. Thank you, Michelle. Just a prayer of dedication, of a recognition that we have something to give, each and every one of us. So on this night where we recognize and celebrate the birth of the Christ child, God coming to that we would dedicate our life again to the work of God. Loving God, like Mary and Joseph, who trusted in your grace despite their fear, their poverty, their lack of certainty, we offer ourselves and our gifts to you. Bless the offering of our life and hallow our every thought and action, that Christ may be born in us and through us be revealed to those who yet walk in darkness. And all God's people said, Amen. Well, that's pretty good for United Church. And all God's people said, Amen. You betcha. I want us to pause, well, not to pause, I want us to spend a little bit of time in a reflection for Christmas, for what this night is. I'm going to invite our beautiful young family, Eric and Jenny and Milo, to come and sit at the front of the sanctuary at our bus stop. Those of you who haven't been here through Advent don't know what that means, but each Sunday at our bus stop, we have had a different kind of distraction. Right in the middle of our comfortable worship, we had homeless person, or the idea of a homeless person, living at the bus stop. Another week we had young people hanging out at the bus stop. Right in the middle of our worship. And then we had elderly folk, disabilities and accessibility issues, right in the middle of our worship, sitting at the bus stop during Advent. That bus stop was transformed tonight. This is a celebration of the birth of a child. And for the first time since I've been your minister here for 12, almost 13 years now, it's the first time we've had an infant in person at the nativity scene. What does nativity look like today? What does the message of Christmas look like today? If Milo gets noisy, let him be noisy. This is the distraction of joy. If you get uncomfortable and need to get up and move, feel free to get up and move. It's the distraction of care and comfort. Right in the middle of our worship. So I want us to think a little bit about part of the story, part of the emphasis of the story of Christmas, and the message that it brings to us, and what it might look like today. But I want us to begin with a thought from the Reverend Timothy Keller. He's a Presbyterian minister in New York and one of the largest Presbyterian churches in America. Very solid, strong, active, engaged church. He wrote a book, The Hidden Christmas, with the engaging thought that Christmas is the only Christian holy day that is also a major secular holiday, arguably our culture's biggest. The result is that two different celebrations, each observed by millions of people at the very same time, this brings discomfort, distraction on both sides. Many Christians can't help but notice that more and more the public festivities around Christmas studiously avoid any reference to its Christian origins. And on the other hand, non-religious people people can't help but find that old meaning of the Christmas keeps intruding uninvited, causing it to be irritating to have to answer their children's questions. What does that music mean? Born to give them second birth. I hope, and I trust this Christmas Eve will be a time for you to contemplate deeply that message that intrudes uninvited. For our purposes this night, the truth of the world-transforming, historical change event overrides, supersedes the once upon a time fairy tale of our cultures and youth. God incarnate, taking on human flesh to be with us, eternal light breaking into our darkness, that we might know the fullness of life that we were meant to be in the midst of all of this that we live. We like to think that we have endless imaginations and can fathom all possibilities that we might be, but we haven't even scratched the surface of the things that God has prepared for us, if only we would allow it to happen. Christmas opens a window into these wonders, yet we all too often cringe back into our self-imposed limitations. Whether that's like the first Sunday of Advent, becoming homeless at a bus stop because we can't find the support or the backing or the need to step into life.